Hi. So thanks for coming. It's pretty big to put your story out there on social media, and I cannot believe the amount of people that have replied. It's amazing. I mean, we are so not in this alone, this whole storm of COVID and storm of motherhood. And it really actually had me up most of the night last night because I couldn't stop thinking about, wow, you think you're just in this kind of by yourself because it's so not social right now. So very cool. Who is here? I want to know who can relate to kind of that anxiety. If you can relate to the anxiety of all of this and feeling anxious, drop me a 1 in the comments if you can. Just trying to figure out where everybody's at. If you are like me and you are yelling at your children all the time, you're a little short, drop a 2, maybe. I think we can all relate to that. How about anybody here for brain fog, just not feeling very focused? That would be, let's drop a 3 if anybody has that. Just kind of curious where you guys are at. Yeah, I know, me too. I really struggled with that one. Anybody here for kind of more the depression, the anxiety side? You don't have to drop a comment. I know that one's a bit more personal, but drop me a 5 if you want. Yeah, it's challenging time. So I think we are all sort of aligned here in that we've got a lot going on. So, and my husband just showed up from skiing. I can hear him coming in, so he better not distract me. So yeah, jumping right in here. My personal story, I kind of shared it on Facebook. I mean, I think it's been challenging for everybody, right? And just not feeling myself and struggling with communication, how to talk to my child. So tired all the time. And I actually found this, my dear friend Hannah from Maui, I saw her do something similar, and she said so much of what I was feeling and I trusted her so much, and I reached out to her, and I thought, you know what, this is all about self-care, and we put ourselves behind as mothers. We always put ourselves in the back burner, and sometimes you just can't, because we are the leaders of this family, and if we're not doing great, then we are not being our best selves for our family. So for once, I said yes. I jumped on. I heard about the superfood protocol, and basically after I got into this, I mean, by day 5, I really stopped yelling at my kids. It was softer, like it was very shocking to me. By day 10, I asked my husband if he had noticed a difference, and he had noticed a complete energy shift with me. I thought it was crazy. I thought maybe I was starting to make it up, but that people were noticing. I had people come up to me asking me what I was doing. My skin has changed. It's glowing. I mean, I'm not saying that, you know what I mean? But it is like my skin has never been this alive. And yeah, I mean, just that other people were noticing that I don't even see every day. And I thought, gosh, there's something to this. And by day 30, I really felt like I had done this 180. And I was surviving these long nights with my children, and I had energy in the morning, and I thought, what the heck, you know, even down to my menstrual cycle, I didn't even notice that it was coming. I thought, what, you know, I am the queen of all of that. So
that would be amazing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah.
So that was actually a really big surprise to me. That was all. I just felt like my whole body felt like it was in balance for the first time in so long. And we are so depleted as parents that we just, you know, you're just like eating their crackers, you're finishing their food, you just don't make that time. And how easy all of this was to just jump into it. It didn't change my life so much. In fact, my family ended up eating so much healthier. And I mean, and we eat healthy anyways, but I felt like it was just sort of nutritious food, and got my kids into it. I mean, Elliot was so excited every time I'd have my shake, he'd steal it from me, which I was like, hey, that's fine. I need that. So So that's, then so many things happened too, just quickly. I stopped drinking coffee. I had so much energy. I didn't even feel like it. Started tasting like battery acid to me all of a sudden. I didn't have that desire. Instead I had my aminos in my shake in the morning, and that was enough. Just lots of things, like my body felt better. I take a long time to wake up in the morning. I'm grumpy. I'm sore, actually. And the neat thing was that drop me a 6. Where are we at? Drop me a 6 if anybody else's body feels sore. You have inflammation, you have backaches, anything like that. Yeah, I mean, think of the weight we carry with our children all day too. I mean, it's pretty normal. But all of that, it all softened for me. And I'm interested. So I did my 30 days, and then Christmas happened, and then I thought, gosh, I'm doing this again, and I'm going to invite people to do it, which is what I'm inviting you guys to do. And I've been out of my product for a couple of weeks now, about 10 days, and I noticed a huge shift. This is the best thing I've ever invested in myself, and it is my best self-care maintenance that I can do, because I can feel just all around a better person, parent, wife. So on that note, with the 30-day transformation, Rachel is, we've become friends through all this. We met through Hannah, my friend from Maui, who got me onto this. And Rachel is such an inspiration to me. She's completely dedicated to this business and this protocol, because it changed her life as well. She suffered from Hashimotos, which I didn't know much about before, adrenal fatigue, all of that. And she actually, I relate to her because all of you know I've kind of been in the wedding world for a long time. She was a wedding photographer, and we all know how taxing, you've seen me maybe in the wedding world, and it's exhausting doing those 17-hour days. And so there she was with being so sick, and she had to give up her job. She can tell you a little bit more, but and then she turned her life around with this, and she has been symptom free from Hashimoto's, and turned herself into, she had so much energy. She started working out, which I attest to. I started working out again too. And I feel like I'm jumping higher. I'm like, did I just jump that high? Oh my God. And so she turned to the gym too. And then somebody noticed her, and she got asked to start training for these bodybuilding competitions. And next thing you know, she won 2 competitions, and she won in her age category and in the 20s, was it? So, and she was 42, I think. Is that right? Yeah. So, I mean, anything is possible. I mean, it's just when your body is capable, you can do things. So, on that note, I will pass the puck to Rachel, and she can explain more of what all of this is and how to transform your own life.
Thank you, Jilly. Your story has been so inspiring. Watching you just completely transform your life 180 has been amazing. It's been exhilarating on my end because it happens so quickly. And just like feeling your energy is just, I'm just so, this is why I love what I do. I love sharing this with people just for this reason, is just seeing you transform. And you have my story down. That was perfect. That's exactly what happened. So Hashimoto's looks like adrenal fatigue, brain fog, all the things she mentioned. I had all of it. And and at 44, I won my first 2 competitions. And then I went on and became a pro champion. And it started with me sleeping 3 times a day, having naps throughout the day. And then pretty soon I did this transformation. And in the first 7 days of the acceleration, all my symptoms were gone. And I was pretty sure that I was going to be, it was all going to come back when I was done, with this protocol. But I've been on the daily core 4 maintenance, and that has been my daily, like, cleaning the slate regime every single day for the last 5.5 years. And none of my symptoms have come back. I also lost 25 pounds. We didn't mention that, but I did lose weight, and that was amazing. And that happened before I competed. That obviously, but I mean, it happened before I started working out. I lost the weight before working out. And that's the thing that's so amazing, is you don't have to work out to get trim. It's 80% is nutrition. 20% is working out, is what they say in the fitness world. So I think I'll just jump into sharing what the products are with you, and Jillian's going to hold them up. So she has them all right there. So let's just show them what the Daily Core 4 looks like. If you could just put all the products in the picture.
Okay, so I'm waiting for my new products, so you're going to have to look at my empty packaging, but I think this is brilliant, because another reason I love this company is because they are so into sustainable farming, and they back so much of what I believe. Food is health. They care about how they're turning their soil. Their food is grown in this dried up lake bed that has never had any toxins in it, and deep, rich mineral soil. It's very neat. So this, all of their packaging in 2021 went to plastic free. So this doesn't look pretty anymore, but this was one of my shake packages, and it's completely compostable once you take the label off. And there's 4 different flavors in the variety pack. So it's kind of fun. It kept it fresh, and I literally could not wait to get these in me every day. I miss it. I'm like, this morning I was like, oh. And then we've got, do you want me to show them all, Rachel, or do you want to?
Well, I just wanted you to hold them so I could talk about them.
Okay.
Put them all in the package. I mean, if you want to talk about them, you can.
I will just let Rachel talk, because here we go. I just wanted to show you that they weren't pretty anymore.
Okay. All right. I think they still look pretty. I can't tell.
Okay.
I would
They're
have
not so bad. Just this guy.
So this is the daily core 4. This is what I take every single day. You've got so what she's holding is your vegetables, and then you've got your protein. So protein, fruits, and vegetables. So protein, fruits, that's the fruit protein. This is your fruits. And then she's holding the vegetables, and these are probiotics, the Biomedic. So this is like the daily regime. And then what we start with is the ultimate lifestyle transformation. That's the ongoing daily. But what we start is the jump start with the ultimate lifestyle transformation, which is we're using those products instead of once a day, or using them 2 to 3 times a day throughout the month. And I'm going to explain what each one of them does. And you're also eating lots of produce, lots of clean and green foods, clean and green meals, right? So the apothecary juice, we'll start with the apothecary juice. It's just standing pretty there. So this is like my favorite because this is the highest antioxidant fruit in the world, tart cherries. And this literally helps with the deepest sleep. So those of you, if you're still nursing and you're just like, oh my God, I never get sleep, I'm exhausted from years of not sleeping, this is something that's going to help you sleep deeper when you are asleep. So even if you're like if you're only like sleeping a few hours at a time, when you are asleep, you're going to be in deep REM sleep. So moms who are breastfeeding, I find, are super, super energized from just having more sleep. And so this is a really important thing for women too, because it has naturally occurring melatonin, right? So that naturally occurring melatonin is also great for breast health, because women with high levels of melatonin are shown not to get breast cancer. Now, of course, I'm not going to say this is the only thing that's going to prevent breast cancer. You also have to make sure your cookware is clean. You have to make sure you're not like cooking on, metals and cast iron and all that stuff. So anyway, toxic metals. All right. Now, this is also detoxing the brain. The tart cherry juice also helps with like brain detoxing, right? So this is like so if you have, brain fog and adrenal fatigue, you're just like, what is going on? This is going to help just get rid of the toxins out of the brain. When you sleep, those little cells shrink and all the toxins are removed by the water that's in your body. It just washes it all out. And in the morning you pee it all out and all that stuff. So that's the apothecary juice. So that's a nighttime, a little cap. I like to have mine in a wine glass, and it's like a little aperitif after dinner.
I love this so much. It's my treat at the end of the night. I look forward to it every single day, and it's lasted me forever. It's so good.
All right. And then the next thing is let's talk about the power shake. So the power shake, this is the main thing. So this is a shake that you're going to make once, twice, 3 times a day, depending on what you're doing. But this is going to give you, it comes with 2 packs, and you're going to have, basically it's going to come with 4 packs of those actually. And you're going to have there's 4 different flavors that it'll come with, and you can mix and match them. But what's great is this is like eating 12 salads throughout the day. It's equivalent to eating that much vegetables, right? And here's the thing. It's like, I really am all about eating whole foods. Everyone wants to eat whole foods. We all want to shop local and eat organic and eat whole foods. But one of the problems is that because of soil depletion, that even if we're eating organic, it's not necessarily always got enough nutrients in it. So we really, really, as a society, need to be supplementing our nutrients with adding more dense nutrients in. And this has superfoods in it. Things like spirulina, which are whole superfoods. They have all the minerals and all the different, vitamins and minerals that you need. That's why it's a whole food. So it has kale. It's got all different kinds of really amazing superfoods in it. And so this is dense nutrients. And this is why people start to reduce cravings. Because when your liver is supported by the dense greens, your body literally stops craving. So it gets rid of sugar cravings. Guess what else hijacks the sugar craving? Alcohol cravings, cigarette cravings, anything thing that you shouldn't be putting in your body hijacks the sugar craving. So by supporting the liver and detoxing the liver, you're eliminating cravings. So this is one of the most important parts of it, is because this is going to help. If you're taking this every day, it's going to keep cravings at bay. I literally eat way less sugar than I ever eat. And I don't even eat sugar anymore. If I eat sugar, it's like coconut sugar, and that's fine. That's good for you. And fruits, right? So those are the things that I eat. So the power shake is also the body also burns fat better with the power shake. It helps, and that's the rice bran solubles that are in there. And then there's also the Super Meal Love Shake that comes with the variety pack. And this one has a bunch of adaptogens that help balance hormones, help with better digestion, help with more energy. And they're adaptogenic, and adaptogens means if your hormones are too high, it lowers them. If your hormones are too low, it heightens them. So it adapts your hormones to where they need to be. It's an adaptogen. So those are the herbs that are in those shakes. And then the third product is the super aminos. So the super aminos that Jilly's going to hold up, this is a pressed tablet, and these are amazing. This is vegan, plant-based, non-soy, non-GMO legumes. That's what it's made from. So it's already broken down. Your body doesn't even need to assimilate this protein. It literally is broken down. It goes into the muscle. It goes into the lymph in 23 minutes, which means it instantly activates your muscles and energy. I call this energy in a pill. I love it because what happens is it's kind of like having coffee throughout the day, but without the jitters, without the highs and lows. It's just steady, steady energy. And if I literally could pick one thing to do from this entire thing, as a mom, as somebody who's breastfeeding or anything, or even somebody who has cancer, I would say that this is the most important thing, because this is steady energy. You feed yourself, you take this first thing before your feet even hit the floor in the morning, and your body's going to start with energy so that you give to yourself first in the day, especially important for moms. So those are super aminos. And whereas when you're eating,
can I just say one thing about those super aminos? Rachel, I'm really sorry to interrupt, but I just had to say that it felt like I woke up when I took them, it felt like I woke up with a cup of coffee in me. There were some mornings that I come downstairs, I'm not a morning person, and Steve, I was one morning, I was like, and he looks at me and goes, "Do you think this is good?" I said, "Do you think me waking up for 2 hours, taking 2 hours to wake up is good?" And he went, "No, that's fair. Okay." It's amazing.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
Can I ask a quick question about the aminos? Because I haven't actually done much research on aminos before. How does it work? Like, how do the amino acids work in your body?
Rachel.
So the super aminos, basically, all of our food. So whenever we're eating, whatever eating that has protein in it, it breaks it all down into aminos, right? And then those aminos become our muscle builders. But it takes a lot of energy to break that down. So if we're eating meat or eggs or dairy, that protein, 40% of it is our body only uses 40% of it, and then the rest becomes toxins, acidity, stuff like that.
Okay, interesting. Thanks.
So this formula is a patented formula. It's literally the ratio of aminos that our body needs to make muscle. So this is why I was able to win the competition, quite honestly, is because it literally tightens up, it tones the body, and it prevents, muscle atrophy, so that your body is just constantly in this kind of anabolic state where it's building muscle. And so it's just incredible energy, but it's all natural. It's what our body does anyway, except that this is really, really a great formula because it's the ratio of aminos to each other that makes this formula special. It was designed by a doctor to prevent muscle atrophy. So this is used for coma patients. It's a hospital grade. All right. So moving on, for the super aminos is the biomedic. So let me just ask y'all a question. Has anybody heard of glyphosate? If you've heard of glyphosate, drop a 7. Glyphosate. And anybody know what that is? This is the toxin that's in Roundup. This is what Roundup is made out of, glyphosate. So this is an herbicide. And not only does it destroy plants, it destroys our gut microbiome. So glyphosate is everywhere. If we're not eating organic, we're getting glyphosate in our food. Even if we're eating some organic, there might be glyphosate in there from cross-contamination, cross-spray. If we're walking our dogs, we're getting glyphosate in the parks, from the grass, from the sidewalks, in the air. Glyphosate is everywhere. It's literally impossible to avoid, so everyone has it. You can't wash it off and you can't cook it out. So we need something to remove it. Until we can change the state of the world and what's being used on our agriculture, we need something to remove it. So the Biomedic that Jillian has there, this is a probiotic, prebiotic, and plus biotic. It has 3 functions. It removes glyphosate, and studies show that in 75% of glyphosate is removed in 6 weeks. It also is a prebiotic and probiotic. So what it does is it also rebuilds the villi. So in the intestines or in our gut, those little hairs grow back that absorb nutrients. So it becomes more nutrient absorbing. All right. So you absorb more nutrients with this. This also helps with leaky gut. It helps tighten the holes in the gut so that the toxins don't go back into your circulatory system. So this is our flagship product, our Biomedic. It's the only product in the world that we know of that actually removes glyphosate. And it's the only product certified by the detoxproject.org that removes glyphosate. So anybody who uses Orgain protein, which is an organic protein you can buy at Costco, I want you to know that it has a huge number of parts per billion of glyphosate that's like completely beyond what's allowed in food. And that's weird. It shouldn't, but it does. So you have to really know the companies that you're working with. One of the reasons I know that we can trust this company is, guess what? I know you're all Canadian, but does anybody shop with the USDA organic food label? Does anybody like look for that label? I don't know if that, maybe in Canada you guys don't have that label, but in the United States it's really important. People don't buy it unless it has that label on it. And that label came from the founders of our organization. David and Amy lobbied and got us the USDA organic food label for the entire nation because they wanted to start distinguishing what was allowed in food or not. And so I know that the heart of this company is grassroots. I know that Dave and Amy come from a place of real love and real deep consideration for our health. Dave is also the founder of this company, is also an incredible scholar of nutrition. And he has devised this incredible group of products that is kind of a one size fits all. In his philosophy, what he has learned from studying with Ann Wigmore of the wheatgrass movement, of Bernard Jensen, all these different important scholars of nutrition he has learned from, and he's devised a formula that does these 2 things: detoxes and nourishes. He says the only 2 things we need to have health is to detox every day and nourish. And so that's why the daily Core 4 ongoing is super important. So once I've done the ultimate lifestyle transformation, once I did that, I stayed on the daily Core 4, and that's what I recommend. I recommend give it a good 90 days to really not only transform in the first month, but to see what it's like to maintain health over a period of time and to feel that steady energy over a period of time. And after 90 days, you'll have a good assessment like, wow, that was amazing. I would say, and there's a money back guarantee, 60-day money back guarantee. Keep all your packaging. And then if you want to send it back for any reason, you can. And they can give that guarantees because people love it so much that they want to stay on the products. The only 1% of people who even ever return it is maybe they have like a grass allergy or something like that. So, but other than that, people love this. I've had people, my aunt got off her insulin in 3 weeks using this. I have a friend who had fibromyalgia, and in 30 days, her fibromyalgia was gone, and she had lost 35 pounds. I have other friends who were had Lyme disease and were struggling with pain and inflammation and could barely function. And after doing this program, they could work again and they were normal. So I've seen this support all different kinds of people. The variety pack is what I recommend, the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation Variety Pack. And if you get a smart order, then every single month you can have it shipped right to your door and without missing a beat. I know that Jilly didn't have a smart order. She didn't have her product shipped. And so she actually had this lag period. And so she's waiting for her products. And she was just telling me this morning how much she's like, oh, I can totally feel that I don't have these products in my body. And like, I can't wait to get them back. So she's just waiting for her order. So long story short, it's get a smart order, put in your smart order the daily Core 4, and you will do well. This comes out to be about $15 a day for 2 meals a day for 30 days. So it's your 2 meals a day plus your supplements. Okay. So about $6 or $7 for each meal with supplements. And this is going to replace a couple meals, and you are not going to get hungry because you're so satisfied by nutrients. When you're hungry, guess what that means? Your body wants nutrients. That's why people overeat, because we're not getting enough nutrients. So we tend to eat more than we need because our body's not feeling satiated. When I drink one of these shakes, I feel so satiated. I'm good for hours. So it'll come with a schedule. It'll come with a food list. There'll be a very easy to follow thing. Jillian can send you more information if you want to know the schedule ahead of time. She can send you the schedule. You can go to our website, superfood.social, and learn about it. So I think it's like maybe the total is going to be around 489 or something like that. And plus tax. And for me, it saved me a bunch of money. I know Jillian saved about $50 to $100 a week on her grocery bill. So this was really paid for.
Yeah, it easily did. At least like those bits and bobs in the groceries, and I was for sure at least 100 on some weeks. Yeah, it almost paid for itself in the end, actually.
Yeah. And then I'm just curious, does anybody feel like they want to do this with friends? Does anybody feel like excited about jumping in? Drop me an 8 if you're like, this is for me. Like, I definitely want to, join in this group and, do this with y'all. And like, I feel like it would be really supportive. We have a Facebook group that you're going to be able to be added to. We also have a specific group for moms and breastfeeding. So we have specific groups that are very supportive, that have recipes and people. Good, I'm glad to see that. And if you happen to have people that you want to have join in, they can. You're welcome to join. You're welcome to get the gift codes. You can opt for just being a customer, or you can also get gift codes if you want, and you can learn that from Jilly. But if you want to have gift codes, then you can share those with for whatever people, friends of yours, and then if they order, then it'll pay for your pack. So you can have some friends jump on board and have your pack paid for. So that's fun. I did that my first time, and actually, not only did my pack get paid for, but I made $700. So I was like, thank you, God, because I was so sick and I could barely work at the time, and I was turning away weddings. And so I ended up at some point like living in my car. And so it really helped me that I was like healing myself, getting better, feeling amazing. And then on top of that, I was actually sharing it with my friends and family. And then that was actually like helping pay for my product, and then also putting a little extra money in my pocket. So if that's something that interests you, you can talk to Jilly about that. She'll help you out. But I think that's all I got. Jillian, how about you?
Yeah, no, that's great. Thank you for your time, Rachel. It's always amazing to hear you speak and share, and learned a ton from you already.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll be available for questions and answers. I actually have to jump over because I have a meeting, but Rowan, I see you have a quick question.
Oh, just a quick question. If you were to stop it, like, Jill, and say you couldn't afford it in the future, how does your body react? And, do you go worse than you were before?
Well, no, I can attest to this right now because I'm about 2 weeks, because I finished my last little bit at Christmas, and I have it's been slowly, I'm fine, but I don't feel as optimal. Like that's, there is no doubt that I feel 1000% better. And I literally cannot wait for the stuff to come, because I feel like I was doing this and I just want to keep going. And it's not like your body's all of a sudden, mine definitely did not. I was like, well, I don't know. Like, it wasn't like that at all. In fact, it's been this is the safest and best thing I've done for my own, all of that. I've done antidepressants and all of that jazz before, and this is by far the best I've ever had.
If I could just respond to that, because I think this is a question that I get sometimes. People are like, then do I depend on this? Is my body then dependent on this? Like, they think of it like medication. Like, is my body dependent on the medication? I just want to say, this is just food. So if I took food out, what would I do? What would happen? And what this is a lifestyle transformation. So it's training our bodies to eat cleaner and greener by getting rid of cravings. And then now at this point where Jillian is, she's been on this for long enough that now she's in the habit of eating better. So all the things that she's doing now are just totally better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So now she's just in the habit of eating better. Yeah. So it really changes our habits, and it changes our cravings, and it just really improves every area of our life. But but what I want you to think of is as this is replacing a meal. Instead of like, oh, I can't afford this, consider this. Like, if this was what you're eating instead of eating whatever, eggs and toast, like you're just replacing something with something else that costs less. Like, this costs less than, probably what you're going to eat for breakfast or what you're going to eat for lunch. So this is a way of replacing what you're doing. So what I find is that people actually save money doing this, and then they can't afford not to do this because this is a money saver. if that makes sense.
And
Yeah.
just to reiterate too, I didn't stop eating either. I mean, you're still eating these really great meals and lifestyle meals that they kind of lay out for you. I never felt hungry or depleted. It was the exact opposite feeling for me. So it's not about depletion. It's about adding in your nutrition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Anybody else? Questions? I know, Rachel, you have to pop off. So
Jill, I have a question. So I am just helping Will and still working while we're talking. So
That's fine.
I might have missed this, but is there, like, can you tell me about the food? I wrote down 2 meals, 2 meal plans. And do I still eat? Because something big for me right now is like family time and at least dinner. But so
Yeah,
how, and is it,
100%. So
yeah.
100%. So there's, I think Rachel popped off, but for me, because I'm a nurse, you are. Okay, so because I'm a nursing mother, I had a totally different protocol too. So everything they can adapt to you. And I still ate, and yes, we still had family dinners. And like I said, I felt like I was cooking even better because I was sort of inspired and, and I could still do it for my family, even though I wasn't eating maybe what the sausage or the chicken, maybe I'm plant-based anyways, but I would still have all the beautiful sides and make these nice bowls. And yes, we were totally still eating. And yes, I mean, it's not about depletion. You're still eating. Is that right?
Yeah.
Was that what you say, Rachel?
No. Yeah. I think you covered it. Really,
Okay.
this is really just about like you're not. This isn't a calorie counting. It's not a diet.
No.
This is being cleaner and greener.
I mean,
So
I will say that I did lose weight doing this, but I had been hanging on to my last 10 pounds anyways from baby weight. And Rachel, you can say that there's other ways. There's people that do this program that want to gain weight. So there's other ways. There are so many adaptable ways to do it.
I can explain the schedule really quick. I'm going to explain the simple schedule rather than the accelerated schedule. When you get the box, you can look and decide which one you want to do. But the simple schedule is this. For breakfast, you're going to have your super aminos, your power shake, that's your protein and your vegetables, and your probiotics. And that's going to be your breakfast, right? And then you're going to do that. And then you can have as many fruits and vegetables you want through the day. You can have like apples, you can have, whatever fruits you want. And then you can have like a salad later for lunch. And for lunch, you're going to basically have like this, again, you're going to have the shake and you're going to have the super aminos and the biomedic again. And then you're going to have, and then for dinner, you're going to have like steamed greens with brown rice and whatever. And you can have a salad during the day too. So this is kind of like basically what you're going to be doing. So this is going to be taking the place of some of your food, but not all of it. And then you can do that. You're going to do this every day for a month. So this is basically going to cover 2 meals a day for a month, 60 meals. All right. And then you're going to have like for snacks, you're going to have like apples or carrots or celery or cucumber. And you can have like avocado, maybe a little guacamole dip. And then you can have for dinner, just a clean green meal. Right. And then you can do that every day. So that's one way to do it. And especially if you're breastfeeding, you've got to make sure you're having enough calories. So people who are breastfeeding, you're going to want to make sure you're like really adding in barley green juice. And the barley green juice helps produce more milk. It helps really like create nutrient dense milk for your baby. So a healthy baby. And so this is all safe while breastfeeding. If you're breastfeeding, you're going to take out the super cleanser herbs. You're going to take those out and you're not going to use those herbs. You're going to wait until you're done breastfeeding. They can last a couple of years. You can wait until you're done breastfeeding. And then there's another way you can do it. If you want to do the cleanse, then you just do 10 days once a day, and then you do 10 days 3 times a day, and then you do 10 days twice a day. So you just do it a slightly different regime with the same products. And that's what it looks like.
Yeah. Okay. And Rachel too, I mean, when I was hungry too, I would just eat. I mean, I am nursing, and if I wanted something else, then I'd add quinoa to my salad. I'd have a whole spread of grain toast for breakfast in between. I still feel great. I mean, that's just my own personal experience too.
I have to jump off. My other meeting started, but
yeah.
I made you the host, Jillian, so you can end this when you're ready. You're done. Questions, and I want to say hi to my friend Kirsten.
Rachel, do I record? And when I record, will it all stay? Or
I'm gonna end the recording right now. Okay. Oh, can you end the recording right now? Just
Yes.
more and click end.
All right, 1 second, everybody. Okay.